Welcome to the tutorial on defining and finding experts. This tutorial will discuss what makes someone an expert, how to determine expertise, and how to find experts that you can interview for your stories. Before we go into all of that, though, we have to look at why journalists even need to interview experts. As you already know, it is important for reporters to support their stories with multiple sources in order to ensure that the information being reported is accurate. To do that appropriately and really investigate the topic of a story, a reporter needs to use multiple types of sources so that he can gain a broad perspective on the situation. There are two kinds of sources. First, primary sources, which are those things or people who are directly connected to a story, such as a victim of a crime or an eyewitness. And second, secondary sources, which are those things or people who analyze the story after the facts are given to them, such as articles about the situation or experts. When you are determining what kind of source you need, also be sure to think about what kind of expert you would need to help you analyze the story, as well as whether you need multiple experts to help you analyze the story from all sides. For example, if you're reporting on an election, then you probably want two experts' opinions, one who knows politics and one who knows statistics. Technically, an expert is defined as a person who has special skill or knowledge derived from training or experience relating to a particular subject, according to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary. This is an important definition for you to remember so that you can get the most reputable sources possible for your stories. The special skill or knowledge an expert should possess needs to come from a proven training experience or from proven involvement in the field. One of the easiest ways to ensure this level of expertise is achieved is to interview someone who has already been recognized by another organization as being an expert. For example, someone who is a professor of a subject at a university has had his experience and education vetted by the university already. Similarly, the president of a legal bar association has been recognized by that association as an expert who's capable of leading the organization. If a person you want to interview does not have this recognition from another organization, then consider whether his experience truly makes him an expert. Experience is defined by the Merriam-Webster Dictionary as direct observation of or participation in events, which creates a basis of knowledge. This direct observation or participation should have been going on for a long time, like a decade, in order for it to count as an experience that is worthy of expert status. That way, you know your source has many varied experiences in the field that he could draw upon during your interview. When you are looking for experts, consider looking for people who hold terminal degrees, such as doctorate degrees, in the subject you want to interview them about. Also, look for people who are tasked with the responsibility of training others in the field, since you know they would not be training people unless they were extremely knowledgeable about the topic. The biggest thing to remember when you are looking for experts is why you need an expert to comment on your story. Someone who is informed about the topic will give you high quality and reliable information, which will help your publication to be seen as a high quality article. When you interview someone who knows the topic of your story well, then the statements you report from that person are seen as authoritative and accurate due to the interviewee's knowledge of the topic, allowing him to have insightful and informed perspectives on the issue. Experts can also help your readers to understand complex situations or processes because they can explain the details of the situation, define key terms, or fill in the gaps in your reader's knowledge of the topic. Finally, experts can really help journalists. People who are well versed on a subject generally know lots of additional sources of information that journalists could use for further research. Plus, experts usually know other experts in the field, or at least know the names of the leading experts in the field, who you could go to for additional interviews or for interviews that will give you different perspectives on the issue. The good news for you is that experts are usually easy to find. As a matter of fact, sometimes they're easier to find than lay people. Experts can be easy to locate because they are usually promoted a lot, particularly on the internet and on television. Additionally, your connections in the industry may know who the leaders in the field are and may be able to refer you to those experts. However, there are other ways you can locate experts. For example, when you're researching a topic, look at who wrote the information you're reading or who was interviewed in those articles. That will tell you who the experts on the subject are. Additionally, check discussion forums, listservs, and social media platforms that discuss the topic of your story to see who is active on there. The people who everyone pays attention to or who lead the digital conversations are likely to be experts in the field. Also, look at individuals' websites as well as companies' websites. Companies will often post their lists of key personnel online and include descriptions of each person's background. Use that information and the company's contact information to reach out to the experts who are actively working in their field. Finally, be sure to ask multiple experts for interviews. They are busy people who are in demand when it comes to interviews, particularly about newsworthy topics. Asking multiple people for interviews ensures that you are likely to get an interview with someone, no matter how busy everyone is or how many journalists are asking for interviews. And of course, once you find an expert who you like to work with and who gives you helpful information, be sure to keep in touch with him and keep making his experiences with you pleasant. That way, he will give you more interviews in the future. Just remember to consider whether he would have any biases or limitations on his relevant knowledge regarding future publication topics so that you know whether he is actually the right person for you to interview again. With time and practice, you'll get used to identifying experts, and finding expert sources will become an automatic part of your journalistic skills. Thank you so much for listening, and good luck researching relevant experts in your field.